Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings, with your host Ram. And well, once again, there are going to be three matches today. The Indian Premier League actually had two matches happening today. One was the 38th match, which happened between Mumbai Indians and the Royal Challengers Bangalore. And Royal Challengers Bangalore today, with this particular defeat that they had at the hands of the Mumbai Indians, were thrown out of the Indian Premier League 2017, which was very sad. But RCB finally, their challenge has ended in the IPL 2017. But Mumbai Indians did not have it so easy. In fact, the skipper Rohit Sharma had to really play a very calculated innings, which he did it wonderfully well. And Mumbai Indians actually won with only one ball remaining. They won the match by 5 wickets. As far as the 39th match was concerned, it was played between Rising Pune Super Giants and the Gujrat Lions at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune. It was the Rising Pune Super Giants who really rose, I would say, in a big manner, with Ben Stokes actually hitting his maiden T20 century. And he took, he came in at a situation where the Rising Pune Super Giants were chasing 161, and Gujrat Lions had already put the Rising Pune Super Giants on the back foot by reducing them to 10 for 3, and that was the time the bloke Ben Stokes entered. And what a knock from Ben Stokes. I mean, he was the one who stood there like a colossus and took them to victory. And as I said, his maiden T20 century, a wonderful knock, an unbeaten 103 at that, of 63 deliveries, 7 fours and 6 sixes. And as far as the other match, international match, was concerned, the day 2, the West Indies could not do much because Roston Chase and Justin Holder were dismissed at their overnight score, and West Indies had to be content at 312 all out, and Pakistan replied at close of play on 172 for 3. And I have to say, this pitch is doing all sorts of tricks as far as the pitch is concerned, because some balls are keeping low, some balls are shooting around, some balls are lifting from a particular spot, so there's a lot of uneven bounce as well. So I think this pitch is only getting trickier and trickier as the days go by. Right, so I'm going to start off with the first match, and that would be between the 38th match, Mumbai Indians taking on the Royal Challengers Bangalore. The toss was this was played at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, and it was Royal Challengers who got the luck of the toss, and Virat Kohli, contrary to all other teams, decided that his team would bat first at the Wankhede Stadium. And Virat Kohli and Mandeep Singh opened the innings. Mitchell McLennan was taken apart by Virat Kohli, who hit him for 2 sixes. And as far as Mandeep Singh was concerned, he was also doing a fair enough job, as they had got 31 on the board. And that was the time. Today Karan Sharma was playing in the team, and Karan Sharma actually really showed his good bowling skills here when he actually picked up and gave the in fact it was it was Karan Sharma actually gave the breakthrough when Mandeep Singh was out for 17 of 13 balls, 3 fours, and Virat Kohli was a victim of the bowling of Mitchell McLennan. As you know, Mitchell McLennan has claimed Virat Kohli's wicket many a times, and here Virat Kohli was held very well by Rohit Sharma of McLennan for 20 of 14 with 2 sixes. Travis Head contributed 12. Now this was the phase of play where Krunal Pandya was introduced when the openers both were dismissed. Krunal Pandya, the left-arm spinner, was introduced into the attack. And Krunal Pandya, as we all know, has been doing a good job. He took 2 good wickets, I would say. One, he picked up Travis Head with the aid of his brother Hardik Pandya, caught 12 of 15 balls with 1 4. Travis Head gone. And A.B. de Villiers, for a change today, showed that, normally if you're looking at the records, Krunal Pandya is the one who has taken the wicket of A.B. de Villiers. But today, I would have to say that even though Krunal Pandya took A.B. de Villiers for the 4th time here, he really clattered Krunal Pandya. Today he gave a bit of a bashing to Krunal Pandya by hitting him for probably all the sixes that he hit were of the Krunal Pandya, and he also hit 3 boundaries. So De Villiers really took off in a wonderful manner to make 43, but Krunal Pandya was the one who actually picked up his wicket. 43 of 27 deliveries, 3 fours and 3 sixes. Jadhav made a brisk 28 of 22 balls with 2 fours. Watson continued his failure in this IPL 2017, was bowled by Jasprit Bumrah for 3, but the man who really provided a sort of a real thrust to this Royal Challengers Bangalore innings and also gave them sort of a total to defend was Pravin Negi. Pravin Negi has been showing his useful utility not only with the bat, also with the ball. I mean, he has been doing a wonderful job. And today, Pawan Negi showed both the skills. He did well with the bat, he did well with the ball as well. But with the bat, he went on to hammer 3 sixes and 1 4 in a quick fire knock of 35 of 23 deliveries. And I have to say that Pawan Negi really deserves a pat on his back because he hit Lasit Malinga for 2 sixes. So that's a good knock from Pawan Negi. Min not out not, Arvind not out not. 162 for 8 was what the RCB ended up with, which was never a good score in the Wankhede Stadium pitch. Mitchell McClenaghan 4 overs, not 3 for 34 was the main wicket taker. Malinga 4 overs, none for 31. Hardik Pandya bowled only 1 over for 5, but Karan Sharma 3 overs, 1 for 23. Bumrah 1 for 33, but Krunal Pandya did a good job, 4 overs, 34 runs and 2 wickets. Now Mumbai Indians were chasing 163 runs to actually win this match. And Josh Butler, I mean the start was not good for the Mumbai Indians. Parthiv Patel was dismissed of the very first ball when A. Chowdhury, the bowler, actually took his wicket by getting him caught by Yuzvendra Chahal. So that was the first ball itself netted a wicket, and that was not a good start. But Josh Butler was joined in by Nitish Rana, and both together put together a partnership with Josh Butler playing some good stroke at the other end. Nitish Rana was also doing well, and the partnership took the score to 61. From 0 for 1, they recovered to 61 runs in the 8th over, and in that Butler's share was 33, and that was the time we had Pawan Negi being introduced into the attack. And Pawan Negi, well, he not only took the wicket of both Butler and Rana. First he picked up the wicket of Butler, caught by head for 33 of 21 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 6. Nitish Rana was dismissed for 27, also by the same combination of caught head bowl Negi for 27 of 28 balls with 4 fours, and that made the score 70 for 3. And Pawan Negi was really giving a tough time to the Mumbai Indians batsmen because he was bowling his spinners very well, and he was not allowing much liberties, and that was a phase of play where the Mumbai Indians struggled a bit, even though Rohit Sharma was in the company of Kieron Pollard. But after that, so Pawan Negi had done his job. He had done a job and sort of throttled the Mumbai Indians innings here. But Kieron Pollard was the next to go out to Yuzvendra Chahal for 17 of 13 deliveries with 2 fours. And then we saw Krunal Pandya getting retired hurt for 2, which was sad. Karan Sharma was a victim of Watson. And suddenly the match livened up at 130 for 5 when Karan Sharma left. It was the 17th over, so basically it was 16.3 overs. So basically it was 21 balls remained in which they had to score 35 runs to win the match, 34 runs, odd runs. But the good thing was that the Mumbai Indians captain Rohit Sharma was at the crease, and he definitely showed why he was a vital member who was there till the end, because he was the one who took them to victory. He launched a calculated assault, even though I have to say that there was a brief session where even Rohit Sharma was was finding it a bit difficult in one particular over. Ankit Chowdhury bowled very tightly, but that didn't matter. Rohit Sharma kept his cool, did not take much of a big risk, one could say. Whenever he got a chance, he used to play his strokes. Whenever He never used to get it. He was really content in taking singles and just rotating the strike. And then Hardik Pandya was giving him company there. And finally, Hardik Pandya also hit a six in the final over to make things easy. And finally, it was Rohit Sharma who finished it off with an unbeaten 56 of 37 deliveries, 6 fours and 1 6. A calculated assault by Rohit Sharma, getting them the victory. And Hardik Pandya was not on 14 of 9 deliveries, 1 6. And match was over with the Mumbai Indians winning by 5 wickets. The Ankit Chaudhary bowled a good 19th over, I suppose. 4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 32 for him. Chahal, 4 overs, 1 for 36. Min, 2 overs was costly for 29. Arvind went for 21 of his 2. Arvind was the one whom Pandya actually, like Rohit Sharma, actually put him for a beautiful 6. Watson, 3.5 overs, no maiden, 1 for 28. Pawan Negi, look at that all-round performance from him. 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 17. And he finished on the losing side. Rohit Sharma of the Mumbai Indians was the one who took the Man of the Match award. Now, let's get on to another match, which was a very good match, an exciting match, one could say, where the rising Pune Super Giants were put under the pump by the Gujrat Lions. So, this match was played at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune on the May Day. It's a public holiday there in India for the May Day, and it was the rising Pune Super Giants who actually won the toss, and they decided to insert the Gujrat Lions to bat first. Well, the Gujrat Lions batting the openers definitely did a good job. They got off to a good start with some real aggression coming in from not only Brendan McCullum, as we all know, he's a very aggressive opening batsman. Ishan Kishan, who has been doing a fine job as well by opening the innings, really provided some sort of a real thrust as they went on to hit in almost like 6 overs, I would say, in 36 balls, 35 balls one could say. They got 55 runs on the board with Javed Unatkat getting a bit of tap, and also even Ben Stokes was going for runs, and that was the time when the openers rattled off 55. But then Thakur was the one, no, it was Ishan Kishan was the first to go actually. When Imran Tahir was introduced, that was the time Imran Tahir was introduced into the attack, and Imran Tahir put up brakes on the Gujrat Lions innings when he picked up the wicket of Ishan Kishan. Washington Sundar taking the catch well, as Ishan Kishan, who was actually flaying his bat at all the deliveries, 31 of 24 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes. Brendan McCullum's contribution was there, but in between we saw that Imran Tahir was doing some problems. Suresh Raina unfortunately was run out. A very good piece of fielding by Rahane, and Dhoni also doing a good job. He was gone for 8, he was run out. And then Imran Tahir actually caught and bowled Arun Finch to really put a sort of a real stop on the Gujrat Lions innings when he picked up Arun Finch, caught and bowled. And Imran Tahir was looking like a very difficult customer to handle, as Dwayne Smith was clean bowled by Googly, and at the other end it was Brendan McCullum still there, but Brendan McCullum knew that he had a job to do, so he also had to be watchful. But nevertheless, Brendan McCullum still did a good job of scoring 45 27 deliveries, 5 fours and 2 sixes before Thakur actually picked up his wicket for 45. Dwayne Smith was gone for naught. He was bowled by Googly from Imran Tahir, which he know nothing about. And then Karthik contributed a very good uplifting 29 of 26 deliveries with 3 fours, being run out by Dhoni. Jadeja's contribution was 19 of 12 balls with 3 fours. And then Unatkat cleared up the tail. Faulkner was gone for 6, Sangwan for 1, and Ankit Soni was bowled with Unatkat for naught. Basil Thampi was not out on 2. And this Gujrat Lions innings wound up at 161. They were all out for 161. The bowling, Unatkat 3.5 overs, no maiden, 29 runs and 3 wickets. Came back well in the final spell in the death overs, even though he got some bit of bashing from Ishan Kishan and McCullum early on. Washington Sundar 2 overs for 12 runs. Stokes 4 overs, none for 36. Imran Tahir was the pick of the bowlers, 4 overs, no maiden, and he picked up some big wickets, 3 for 27. Thakur also got the important wicket of Brendan McCullum, 1 for 25. And Daniel Christian 3 overs, no maiden, 1 for 27. Now, talking about the rising Pune Super Giants, how they actually achieved the victory. I mean, it was really a sorry start for the rising Pune Super Giants. They started losing wickets right from the word go. As first it was Pradeep Sangwan who was playing today in place of Andy Tai, who is out of the tournament, and Sangwan was the one who picked up the wicket of Ajinkya Rahane. Very good delivery. LBW bowled Sangwan. So Rahane not really doing well in this IPL, one has to say. And then the next wicket to go was Stephen Smith. Now again, Pradeep Sangwan was amongst the wickets. He was the one who picked up the big wicket of Stephen Smith for 4. And Basil Thampi, bowling with lots of pace, actually had Manoj Tiwari LBW for naught. And to complicate matters, Tripathi got himself run out by Finch for 6 of 7 balls, which with rising Pune Super Giants chasing 162 to win the match, were really in the doldrums at 42 for 4 with 2 new batsmen at the crease, Ben Stokes and Dhoni, and that was their hope. And yes, that was definitely their hope because they are 2 experienced blokes. And Ben Stokes really started getting into his groove. But MS Dhoni was not a convincing innings. He was really struggling. But he was making sure that he could at least get the singles and hand over the strike to Ben Stokes. And Ben Stokes was the one who was getting on with his strokes, and he was really doing it very well, thumping the bowlers, and he was the one single-handedly taking on the Gujrat Lions bowlers, and he was spanking 4s and 6s, and suddenly runs were really coming by pretty quickly when Ben Stokes was the crease. But then finally the equation came to 4 overs for 44 runs. 4 overs and 44 runs were required when Ben Stokes was the crease. Ben Stokes was keeping his cool, but then Dhoni was dismissed in the midst after they recovered from 42 for 4 to 118 it was the 17th over when Dhoni was out of the first delivery. So it essentially meant 23 balls were there, and they still needed 44 more than that is 118 when Dhoni departed in the 17th over. That makes it almost like 49 runs required. But Ben Stokes really unwinded. In fact, one has to say that Ankit Soni was the only bowler who really had a handle on Ben Stokes, as Ben Stokes found Ankit Soni's leg spin deliveries, his wrong ones and all, very difficult to actually pick it up. And Ankit Soni did a wonderful job, but Ben Stokes' contribution. But Ben Stokes saw to it that he would see to it that he took them to victory. He banked some big 6s towards the end, and what a knock from Ben Stokes. Got his maiden T20 century. He was not out on 103 of 63 deliveries, 7 4s and 6 6s. Daniel Christian pasted an unbeaten 17 of 8 deliveries, 1 4 and 1 6. Game over, and it was Ben Stokes' maiden T20 century that took rising Pune Super Giants to victory. And Ben Stokes, without any doubt, was man of the match. And as far as the bowling was concerned, Sangwan 2 for 38, Thampi 2 for 35 did a good job. Faulkner was costly, none for 30. Ankit Soni did a wonderful job. As I said, his googlies and wrong ones were very difficult to pick for even Ben Stokes. 4 overs, none for 16. Ravindra Jadeja 2 overs, none for 19 was costly. Smith bowled 3 overs for 26. Now, as I have less time, I'm just going to skim through the test match, the international test match, which is we are talking about day 2 in the Pakistan tour of the West Indies. The second day's play at Kensington Old Bridgetown in Barbados, where West Indies were all out for 312. The overnight scorers Roston Chase was out for 131, did not add to his overnight score. Jason Holder also failed to add to his overnight score of 58 with 8 boundaries. And then Bishu made 14 and Joseph 8, and the West Indies were all out for 312. And it was Mohammad Abbas who had good bowling figures of 23 over 6 maiden, 56 runs and 4 wickets, his best analysis one could say. Mohammad Amir had 3 for 65, 2 for 83 for Yasir Shah, Shadab Khan 1 for 90. Now Pakistan started their reply, and they definitely had a very good partnership. They built a solid base. Ahmed Shahzad definitely, one has to say, played a very lucky innings as he was dropped a couple of times, survived a few stumping chances on a no ball. A lot of things happened, but Ahmed Shahzad contributed to 70, and he also went into his shell at one particular phase of play when it was it was very slow going by the standards of Pakistan, one could say. But Ahmed Shahzad contributed 70 with 8 fours, becoming a victim of Bishu. And then two quick wickets fell. There were two ducks. It was Gabriel actually cotton bowled Babar Azam for not. That was a big wicket. And Yunis Khan was dismissed for not to a very rank long hop, which was bowled by Devendra Bishu, the leg spinner, and he hit it into the hands of Gabriel. He was gone for not. And then finally, when stumps were drawn, Azhar Ali was still holding the fort with an unbeaten 81 with 7 boundaries, and Misbah ul Haq was not on 7 with 1 boundary, and that was the match situation. And I have to say, this particular pitch at Kensington Oval, Bridgetown in Barbados, is really playing a lot of tricks. Some balls are shooting around, some balls are keeping low, some balls are lifting, so there's a lot of uneven bounce as well. And I think the team which is going to bat last, obviously, it is going to be the Pakistanis, and I think Pakistan will have their hands full, because we saw certain balls from Roston Chase really jump up, and it will be also interesting to see even West Indies will find it tough in the second deck, because Yasir Shah and Shadab Khan, two leggies, can prove too dangerous for the West Indian batsmen, according to me. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that's it as far as today's Cricket Happening show is concerned. It's good night from here. Thank you.